Hi friends, this is Michelle with Crafty with Pixiestedding, and today's project is a graduation card. Now I know graduation is now behind us, but I had so much fun when I made this card for my little brother who graduated. I made him this really cute owl graduation card, and so I wanted to share with you how easy it is and how cute and fabulous this card is. I got lots of comments on it. So we'll start with a card base, which this is Daisy White card stock from Close to My Heart. And I cut it in the card is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So you want to make sure that you're getting the right amount and considering where you have to fold. So in order to do that, cut it this way at 5 1/2 inches, and then when you cut it this way, you're going to want to cut it at 8 1/2 inches, and that's what's going to give you 4 1/4. Now I take it with my card scoreboard, and I go, the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 is the A2 standard card size, and it's generally what I prefer to use just because it's easier to buy envelopes, and sometimes it's a pain in the butt to have to make your own envelopes, although you can get some really cute ones. So we just ran along that line, and I always take the end of this and I just run it along there to give a nice crisp line. So see, we have a nice base to start with, and then what I decided to do, I decided to go with a sheet of paper from the later Skater paper pack, which is a retired Close to My Heart paper pack, and I have never found much use for it until today. My little brother is big into video games, and I thought it was perfect. His piece actually said game over on it, which I thought was perfect to coincide with graduation. You know, gamer lingo kind of a thing. Anyway, so you really can cut this whatever size you want. Some people like a bigger, edge of the base card, and others like smaller. I find with some things I really just like this just little teeny little edge. Make this the prominent piece versus the card, the card base. So I cut this in 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it gives you about 1/4 inch all the way around. So then, obviously you're going to want to pick whatever adhesive you like. I prefer the Close to My Heart Bonding Memories broad tip glue pen. It's my favorite. I find that it warps the paper less and sticks better. And I've dealt with some pretty crappy adhesive before. So I like to make sure you go around the edge to get a nice, so we're getting a nice seal. And I always just do some in the middle because, well, you want your middle to stay glued together too. Then you just place it in whatever direction that you are wanting it in. With this kind of paper, really, you could go any way you want to lay it. There's no, with having writing this way and this way and this way, you really can't go wrong in how you put it. So we've got that done. Okay, now we're on to the bit of a trickier part. So we've got the pieces, of this cute little graduation owl, and there are a lot of little pieces. But don't let that intimidate you. Really, if you can look at the image done, then it doesn't seem so intimidating. You don't want to decide which direction you want it. I think this direction is just great. And then the first piece we are going to glue is this cocoa piece. So once again, obviously you're going to want to pick whatever adhesive you like. I know some gals like to use the tape runner. Obviously there are other brands of adhesive glue similar to this. So really whatever makes you comfortable, and that's the great thing about crafting, is that it's all about what you like, what you want to do. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to. So we just place this over the top of the image and press it down. Even if you want to use your boning tool, get a nice smooth fit. You don't want it to come peeling up at all. And then the next thing we glue is his tummy region. Now you are going to want to lift the bottom of the neck. So really I probably should have done the tummy first, but that's okay. Let's just lift up the neck a little bit. And what you're going to do is you are going to take your tummy piece. Obviously you're going to place some glue. Close to My Heart does sell some more fine-tipped glue, but I always seem to run out of that one. So you still can make it work with just your big tipped one. Let's probably ought to put a little glue here, just in case some of that glue lifted. Okay, and you just adhere it down. Okay. Yeah, adjust it as you need to. Okay, it's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be perfect. Ladies, don't psych yourself out and thinking that your images have to be straight on perfect and fine. By doing it and not being a machine, everything has little differences, and that's okay. It gives it character, and it makes it yours and not someone else's. And obviously the more practice you have with doing the piecing, the faster you are at it, the better you are at it. So I wouldn't worry about it not being, you know, perfect, lined up. Okay, now something that I would like to do, I think we're gonna go with the chocolate brown ink, which is close to my heart. This stuff is great. I'm going to use a bit of a sponge. I'd like to do the edges. Now when I did this card for my brother, I actually used the watercolor pencils to color the edges, and then I just went over it with a wet paintbrush and kind of gave it this, you know, edged look. So you don't have to do this. I like the depth that it gives. Let's make sure we're doing this in the correct direction. I'm pretty sure that's the right way. Okay. So then what I do is I just kind of flick the edges. And maybe you have a way that you do this that works better for you. You know, go ahead and do it what makes you comfortable. There's no pressure to be just like anybody else. Give it as little or as much coloring on the edge as you would like. Because remember, this is yours, and how little or, you know, how great of an amount you do, that's up to you. That's your preference, and will give a unique look. So as you can see, got this cute distressed edge. I think, right there, I think it will look fabulous. Just remember, sit back, relax, and get crafty. Have a nice day.